You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music. If there ever was a Mississippi comeback kid in the music business, Ron Etheridge is it. A singer-songwriter who paid dues on the road early in his career, his self-destructive behavior, he admits, led to a crippling accident. Left without most of his physical faculties, he decided two things. One, that God left him alive for a reason. And two, his physical limitations would not stop his passion for making music. The Beatles said, you get by with a little help from your friends. Well, Ron has lots of friends. And in today's interview, you'll hear the story of how friends have made a new record possible and why Ron Etheridge is so glad to be part of a legacy recording label in Mississippi. You'll also hear how he came to be named Mississippi Songwriter of the Year. Now, meet Ron Etheridge. You know, I don't want to dwell too much on the past. I do want to talk about your new album that you've got in the works, that you've got coming up, but I do want to talk about some of the things that you have done. So I do want to stay in the past for just a little bit, because it's an incredible body of work. It's gotten a lot of praise. In fact, some people who have been on the show before, Will Coppage and Bridget Ferguson, kept saying, why don't you get Ron Etheridge? Why don't you get Ron Etheridge? And I said, well, he just won, the Mississippi Songwriter of the Year, and he might be a little busy. So I decided maybe I'd wait a couple of weeks to reach out. But here we go. You've already done a lot in your career.
Yeah, man. It feels like it's been like 3 different lifetimes from my, I'm sure, as Will may have told you about our stint in North Carolina. He and I played in the band, Willie and me, and we traveled the Southeast and did all that touring, and I got to experience what that was like. And wasn't too fond of it, honestly. We never, thank God we only stayed out, weeks at a time and would come back home. But, then I made it back to the Delta and started getting my name back around in the Mississippi area, and the story goes on and on, but I'll let you slip in there.
What was it that you hated about touring so much? Because I think I heard Will mention that too. He didn't like some of that. He's on the road a lot, but you mentioned you didn't like it. What was it what was the aversion?
I tell you, we at the time we weren't making enough money to get hotel rooms after our shows. We were making basically, maybe $150 a man after, gas and all that. We're all 5 in a van, bunch of stinky dudes. And, we always, the plan is after the show, we would make friends with somebody that came to the show and we would stay at their house. And we always ended up sleeping on a floor, couch, or in the van. And it just got uncomfortable, You'd
have to stay at strangers' houses and
exactly. We had a lot of fun, but
it can get to be a drag after a while if you don't have stability, some form of stability.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sure I would love touring if it were on a tour bus and there was nice accommodations and such. But we were in that phase of just getting our name out, and this was during the jam band era. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was especially in North Carolina, it was really big. The legacy of the Grateful Dead and Fish and Widespread Panic and all that. And there's like, a million bands around that time doing that kind of thing, same as us. The difference was with us, I think, was more based around my songwriting and Will's songwriting. And we had songs, and then we would stretch our jams out a little bit. But
You
there
mentioned
was a, yeah.
you mentioned you're doing the Delta thing again. Where are you in the Delta?
Man, I'm originally from Greenville, and I've been back. I think I may have stayed longer there than Will. Willie and me parted ways somewhere, or maybe I don't know, 2005 or six, and I started playing with the three-piece folk band. And I was there till 2009. So all in all, I was there 9 years and came back. So I've been back in Mississippi. My first move was back in with my folks until I was able to get my own place, and my own place ended up being in Brandon until my accident.
And I do want to get to that in just a minute, because I know that's got to be a highly influential part of your music life, as well as your personal life now. And some of the pictures I've seen show that maybe you have some different ways of playing music after the accident than before.
Yeah. So I guess it was I was kind of in a I don't know, a self destruction mode in sorts for a while there, but out of all the pain, I believe I recorded the best album of my life, and that was my last record with Old Trace Records or / Malaco Records. There Will Be Wolves, and before that, I did a record called A Madman's Masterpiece, which have some of my favorite songs I've done as well. So the aftermath of There Will Be Wolves was my self-destructive time, and I think, I don't know, man. It ended up with me waking up in a hospital and them telling me that I was no longer capable of walking, and I found out that my hands weren't going to be working. So I would say I laid in the bed just feeling sorry for myself for about a year post accident, and finally I had all this inside me, and by the grace of God, and that's who I give all the glory to for my coming back to life, so to speak. And I wrote this new record, and I called it Good Family.
I do want to talk about that record, because there's got to be a lot of inspiration in there. But immediately after the accident, did they start trying to put you through physical therapy and get as much working as they could? Did they put you through that kind of mode?
They did, and I think that there was just too much damage. The spinal cord really controls everything. The human body is a crazy thing, man. But I guess I never realized that. I guess I didn't know about quadriplegics or paraplegics. I just knew there were paralyzed people, but I found out about quadriplegics because that's what I am. And with quadriplegics, the spinal cord messes up your hands.
For some musicians, the inability to play an instrument would mean the end of their music career. But coming up, you'll hear how Ron Etheridge decided to make a comeback. And you'll hear the story of support from friends and his record label. That's coming up on the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music. I'm Chris Davis, your host. Ron Etheridge was a touring musician until an accident left him seriously hurt and depressed. He stayed in bed for about a year, feeling sorry for himself. Then he decided to get a grip on his situation. He began learning about the differences between being a paraplegic and a quadriplegic, which he was since his hands had been affected.
So a lot of times you see the guys in wheelchairs, if their hands are kind of closed up or look, oddly shaped or whatever, that's likely a quad. And so, yeah, I did the therapy. It just really, at the end of the day, I've got, a little bit of motion in my right hand, and I use my left hand as kind of a stabler, balancing things with the right hand.
How did this affect your faculty as far as songwriting?
So I have been a garage band nut since it came out. Since I got my first iPhone and saw that it was on there. It's just the little studio that you see on your phone. You get it. Well, it's progressed over the years, and they've added sound packs and different things, and it's no different than a lot of the DAW studio workshop things. So because I knew it so well, I just used a MIDI keyboard, which just plugs right into my iPad, and picked out the instruments I wanted, and I laid it out like that and played it, recorded it all on a keyboard, each instrument, and then took it to the studio, and we brought in a lot of my good musician friends, and they laid down some of it, the exact thing that I did, and some of it was embellished, and I told them to do whatever they felt, and but it was cool actually coming to the studio with a structured song, and being able to just play with that. Getting to do the fun part of the recording process.
Before we go on with the story and talk about Etheridge's new record, for a frame of reference, here's one from his last album called There Will Be Wolves. The track is a favorite of his producer, and it's called Wretch Like Me.
Once I was lost, till you found me. Once I was blind, for years I couldn't see. I fell into the river, drifting away. Now I'm swallowing up my pride underneath the river tide. Maybe you're my amazing grace, even though I've drifted away. River gets rough on stormy days. You're the only one that could save. Oh, you're the only one that could save a wretch like me. Can't say why I turned away. Oh, in the morning when you were right next to me, but I'd give anything to be back next to you. Give you my arm for a pillow. Oh, stay forever in this room, baby. You're my amazing grace. Even though I've drifted away, the river gets rough on stormy days. Oh, you're the only one that could save. You're the only one that could save a wretch. You're my amazing grace. Even though I've drifted away, and that river gets rough on stormy days. You're the only one that could save. You're the only one that could save a wretch like me.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about your relationship with Malico Records, because from what I understand, that's the studio or the record company that you have been affiliated with for the past couple of records. How did that happen? Did they hear your songs and say, this guy needs to be with us?
No, I kind of started stalking Tommy Jr. when I found out about Malico. And I just mean, like, so I think somebody gave me his phone number, and I'd left him a couple of messages, and finally I think maybe he responded to shut me up and said that he would be at my next gig. And so I called up all my friends and told them to show up for me that night. And I really just I played really good, I think, and it was all go after then. And they've been amazing. They've been like family through it. Like I'm not really ashamed to admit, but they stuck by me through a stint in rehab. They stuck by me through the accident, and they're really a great group of guys there. Wolf Stevenson, he's just one of the coolest, most genuine, humble human beings I've ever met. Tommy Jr., he's basically just said, when you write a song, you can come here and record it. It's on me. Like, he believes in me, and Malico believes in me. And Tommy says, as long as I write songs, he'll record them. So.
And Ron's new release has been recorded at Malico Records, the Jackson studio. Coming up in just a minute, right here on the Blues and Arts Hour, what it was like recording in those hallowed halls, and how Ron has become an award-winning songwriter. That's coming up on the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music. Coming up in just a minute, you'll hear some new music from Ron Etheridge. He's been recording at Malico in Jackson for Old Trace Records. He says that recording company has lent him support since his accident.
The tornado blew down the first studio. They actually rebuilt a better studio, from what they say,
But still, with a litany of legacy artists that came before you recording for that company. That has to feel good.
Absolutely, man. I've been so proud to be, just to say I'm with Malaco. And I wish more people realized what kind of place that Malaco has been and what they've put out. And it's crazy that, to me, they're the same as Stax or the Fame Studio, Muscle Shoals. I believe they have their own section of all of that music, and I don't know why, but maybe I'm hoping somebody eventually will come do a good documentary, and Wolf could narrate the whole thing for sure.
Well, these guys have certainly seen their corner of the music, the world of music history.
Absolutely, yeah, man. Wolf, I'll ask him about a pair of boots he's wearing, and he's got a story about it from it would be the coolest story. Like, I picked these up in San Francisco in '69 with, it's just funny, man. He's got endless stories, and amazing guy, and just everybody there has been so great to me. And so the new record, and I'll let you jump in here if you need to.
Well, I was, you almost got my next question, which is, Ron, tell me about the new record. What is it about? Because I was listening to There Will Be Wolves again, and there's a kind of a variety of different subject matter on that record, and yeah. I would assume that the new one is probably the same.
It's got the same. Sorry, I'm gonna light this cigarette. Sorry, all you youngsters, no smoking. All right, so the new record, I guess God got me to realize that I never gave Him praise and glory for bringing me back to life and saving me in so many ways. And there was kind of a theme with There Will Be Wolves, and I don't know if anybody realizes, but I think there's 7 songs that mention wolves in that record. But I felt like the things that were holding me down was coming out in my music. A sense of hopelessness, a sadness, but as in art, I guess sadness is what makes beautiful art. But this record has some hope to it.
Some of the joy in finding a kind of a new way in the world. That's
right. Yeah, and Good Family was a song that I began writing before the accident, and it's actually about me being in jail and praying for God to get me out of jail. And I don't know where that song would have ended up, but I picked it back up after the accident, and it changed into Good Family being the family of Christians and the family of all of the people who came together and stood by me during all of that. Man, it was unbelievable, the reaching out and the support.
Calling for a miracle, got myself in deep. They took away my freedom, took the shoes from my feet. They took away my name, slapped a number on me. I felt the sins of the many men that wore these threads before. free from the valley of the wayward sheep. Hope I'm still a part of that good family. I can feel the Jordan River beneath my feet, and I'm begging for your mercy from the valley of the wayward. Lord, from the valley of the wayward sheep. I couldn't hear those voices that I used to keep. Maybe they were angels teaching me to sing. If I was blind to the company of the fallen angel, he had his own songs that taught me things as well. Oh, Father, can you set me free from the valley of the wayward sheep? Hope I'm still a part of that good family. I can feel that Jordan River beneath my feet, and I'm begging for your mercy from the valley of the wayward. Lord, from the valley of the wayward sheep. In the night, get out the darkness, step into the light. Get out the darkness, step into the light.
Brothers and sisters, say amen. We'll talk today about the lion's den. We'll talk today about the lion. We'll talk to Jonah about the belly of the whale. Sin and devil packing back the hill.
We'll talk to Noah about the rain that fell.
So we'll be walking on the bling bling. Them golden streets like we ain't never seen.
The funky trumpets in the sky.
When I hear that old
The
trumpet
funky
sound,
trumpets in the sky. The funky trumpets in the sky. The funky trumpets in the sky.
look for mama.
Funky trumpets in the sky.
Look for the Hebrew
The funky
boy.
trumpets in the sky. The funky trumpets in the sky. The funky trumpets in the sky. Brothers and sisters, won't you testify?
Coming up, the song that won Ron Etheridge his latest accolade on the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music. You're spending some time today with Ron Etheridge, singer-songwriter who has been working on a new album at Malico Records on the Old Trace label. Ron has also been awarded the title Mississippi Songwriter of the Year in a contest put on annually by the folks at Boswell Media in Kosciuszko and Philadelphia. How did it feel competing in that? How did it feel, and how did it feel winning that?
Oh man, it was crazy. I don't think that the performance went so well. I was truly grateful that it was a songwriter contest, you know, and it was about the song. And you know, some people tell me it was good, and you know, but people will tell you that. Anyway, the guys I had with me did great jobs. I wasn't I wasn't all that impressed with my performance, but there was some incredible songs that night. It could have been anybody's when the guys that went after me, his name's Hayden, and his little brother, his name's gonna slip, Willow. But they did a song that I thought won. I would have voted for that song in a minute. I think maybe the wheelchair and the story, and with the song that I sing, probably like the record will. If you know the story, each song's gonna mean more, you know.
Some people quiet down and listen, while the other half just wants to speak. Some people kneel down at the altar, while the other half would rather preach. Some people start to run away soon as the flood hits the street. Some people dive into the water. They stick around when the ship gets deep. From the wagon, I got tired of chasing dragons. Rest assured he won't be back again. Please don't shut me out. It breaks my heart to let you down. Maybe all I've needed was a friend. Tag along. Trouble get behind me now forever. Some people run and hide, but you have never left my side. Trouble get behind me now forever. Hard times be gone now forever. Some people are handed everything, while the other half work until the fingers bleed. Some people give while others take. Some people love while others break. I fell from the wagon, I got tired of chasing dragons. Rest assured he won't be back again. Please don't shut me out. It breaks my heart to let you down. Maybe all I've needed was a friend. start to run away. Soon as the flood hits the street, some people dive into the water. They stick around when the ship gets deep.
Sounds like you, like a lot of songwriters, are your own worst critic in a way.
For sure, man. That's every musician I know. But that's how you get better, you know?
Well, yeah, you don't rest on your laurels. You keep pushing on no matter what the situation.
Yeah, and I've had some trials, man. Yeah, I still day to day. It's still rough, man. I think I did. The local news did an interview with me at the hospital, and we were surrounded by a lot of my friends with guitars, and they were playing my songs and stuff. During the interview, I said, if I have to learn how to play with my toes, I will make music again. And I'm glad I stuck to that. I'm not there. I'm not even close to there, but I'm getting more proficient and comfortable.
Where can people find your music?
Right now, There Will Be Wolves is the only thing out there. I took a Madman's masterpiece down to remaster it and hopefully re-release it with Old Trace. There Will Be Wolves is on all of the platforms. I think it's a great album.
You just need to look up Ron Etheridge music.
That's right. Yep.
You can hear the Blues and Arts Hour every week right here on 103.9 WYAB, Fridays at 9 a.m. Tune in next week on 103.9 WYAB.